When you have lots of money, you somehow feel powerful. You can buy almost everything and you will have access to the finest things in life. But power and money are not really correlated with each other because having power does not instantly mean that you will have lots of money. This is very evident with presidents, specifically in the United States. Though not all presidents in their history are extremely rich, since the reported annual salary of the president is $400,000, with an additional $100,000 travel expense, $19,000 entertainment account, and $50,000 expense account. The money they are getting is still tantamount, but we have heard of billionaires and how wealthy they are, and that is what I'm going to talk about. In today's video, I, your luxury warrior, will introduce you to the top 5 wealthiest presidents in the history of the United States. We will take a glimpse of their lives before becoming president and how they achieved their fortune. At our 5th spot is Andrew Jackson with an estimated net worth of around $132 million. Andrew Jackson was the 7th president of the United States. He is kind of an interesting man with some news talking about the strange things he has done. But despite being somehow odd, he managed to make tons of money. His story is one of those rags to riches stories. He joined a local militia as a courier at a young age of 13. He became an orphan when his brother and mother passed away, but he was determined, and so he studied law and eventually became a prosecuting attorney. He was able to live in a bigger house from the log cabin he used to reside in. He created the Hermitage Plantation. It is indeed considered opulent during that time, with all the 8 rooms having chimneys and fireplaces each. From being Tennessee's first representative to becoming senator, then a major general, he sure took on different responsibilities, and after showing how effective he was in the war, he went back to the Senate. In 1828, he ran and won as a president. His reign has its ups and downs. His opponent even called him a jackass. That's why he used a donkey to represent himself, and it eventually became the symbol of the Democratic Party. He made a mark by how he spent his fortune. He had renovated his house as often as needed, bought lots of furniture, food, and whiskey. At our 4th spot is Teddy Roosevelt with a net worth of $139 million. Well, Teddy is kind of Jackson's opposite. Teddy's wealth was passed down to him and his family was known to be fortunate ever since. His life in general is extremely comfortable. Though during his childhood he had severe asthma, he'd go on hiking trips and travel around Egypt and Europe. Of course, he chose to study law. He dropped out from Columbia Law School after his father died. He was the youngest to serve in the opposition when he decided to join the New York State Assembly. He left New York in his position when his mother and wife passed away. He became a rancher after that, but sadly, his herd was wiped out due to bad weather. He took on the responsibility to lead the United States 1st Cavalry Regiment, the Tough Riders. After losing in his first try as mayor, he took his chance again and won. After that, he became the VP to McKinley and became the youngest U.S. president when McKinley was assassinated. He made good things for the country. He signed the National Monument Act and negotiated the end of the Russo-Japanese War. Besides all the money he had from his family and from the various roles he took on, he also wrote 25 books. At a young age of 22, he already purchased a prime property in Long Island. His estate has extravagant bathrooms, a water closet, and 22 rooms. At our 3rd spot is Thomas Jefferson with an estimated net worth of $236.8 million. Unfortunately, he was not able to keep his wealth until his death. Jefferson was also born into a wealthy family. He had the opportunity to study in William and Mary College. He was one of the most respected lawyers in his field at that time. It goes to show that he was also paid well. He was Virginia's 2nd governor. Although he wasn't well accepted, he was able to be in the position for 2 terms. He became the U.S. Minister in France, then Secretary of State, and was appointed by George Washington. He was planning to walk away from politics, but he was elected as VP and became the president in 1800. He was also known to spend lots of money on wine, and his excessive expense led him to debt. But even though he has lots of debt, he still sent a letter requesting for a case of expensive French wine. He even had to sell his book collection to the government that eventually became the Library of Congress. He holds a lottery for his own estate, and well, this man is extremely broke for him to do that. His estate, Monticello, was continuously updated throughout the years. He wanted it to be as prestigious as it can be, that it was even considered to be the most expensive house in America during that time. With this kind of mansion, it comes with hundreds of slaves, one of which is Sally Hemings, the mother of Jefferson's 6 children. At our second spot is George Washington with a net worth of around $587 million. As you may know, he was the first president of the U.S. Like most people in our list, Washington was born wealthy and lived his entire life without worrying about money. Lawrence Washington, his half-brother, left him the 2,000-acre Mount Vernon. He became part of the Indian and French War. He started as commander and became in charge of the whole military. He also served as delegate and became commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. He was an effective leader since they won lots of fights despite lacking training and equipment. With what he showed during the war, it was clear that he was a great choice to lead the country in 1789. He had done lots of things, including copyright laws, establishing the first U.S. cabinet, and gave a start to various traditions that's being practiced until now. He stepped down and chose to make more money in Mount Vernon. Let me tell you that he ran the most successful distillery in America. It produced 11,000 gallons annually. The estate, Mount Vernon, is indeed beautiful with all its 50 outbuildings and the mansion with lots of rooms. The place is splendid with some buildings including a smokehouse, salt room, a laundry yard, and a wash house. The design and furniture inside is equally beautiful. And now we're down to the wealthiest president of the U.S. At our top spot is none other than Donald Trump, with a net worth of $2 billion. You've probably seen him everywhere. Trump was born into a wealthy family. When he was 22, their family business wasn't doing well, and he helped in maintaining their status. He has an annual salary of $260,000. He then built Prospect Tower that added $300,000 per year to his fortune. He was definitely good with business because he was able to be on top in creating luxurious buildings around New York. He was often seen on TV and magazines. He was well known for his businesses. He owns different estates and properties. He even has 3 houses near Mar-a-Lago, valued at $25 million. A house in St. Martin priced at $13 million, and another house in Beverly Hills valued at $13.5 million. He also owns the penthouse in Trump Tower, of course, which is a whopping $54 million. He has numerous helicopters, planes, and cars that have a price tag that normal people can't fathom. All this money and properties surely comes with tons of responsibilities. That is all that your luxury warrior has for you today. Who is your favorite out of these 5? Comment your thoughts down below. Don't forget to subscribe and click that like button. And as always, prepare to suit up for more of our exciting videos.